having a fantastic day. Today we are going to be looking at how I went from zero to £20,000, a little over £20,000 now, a month on Amazon in the UK. Now this is going to be in the Lamborghini, so I've got about 100 miles to drive today up towards Norwich, where I used to live. I'm going to pop around where I used to work, so it's going to be really interesting. But if you're interested in how I've managed to do that, I've actually put together a really interesting video for you today, so stick around for it. Make sure you are subscribed, the notifications turned on. Let's get into the video straight away. Alright guys, so we are here in Starbucks in Attleborough, so if any of you guys know that, near Norfolk, where are we? Suffolk, Norfolk, sorry. So we got the Lamborghini outside, so you might be able to, we'll go out there in a second and talk about it. But basically today we're going to be talking about how I went from zero, so nothing, to selling over £20,000 worth of stock on Amazon. So just to give you guys a little kind of breakdown of this, I'm just going to update this for you guys, so if you can kind of zoom in on this. Is that focused? Yeah, we're focused. So at the moment, I'm just going to update it. So there we go, it's updated. So you can see there, for the last about 6 days really, because it's 8 o'clock in the morning, 5,375. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take 5,300, let's say. We're going to divide that by 6, so that's 6 days, times by 31. So there we go, £27,000. I work at a 40% profit margin, so we times that by 0.4, so that's 10,000, nearly £11,000 in profit. So that didn't come overnight. You know, I started with zero, so I just want to explain to you guys how that is possible, because a lot of people will see those numbers and think that they're not obtainable, and maybe a year ago maybe I didn't think that as well, but from my perspective now, of only doing it for like just over a year, I know that it's possible, so I want to teach you guys and show you guys how it is possible and what you need to do to achieve it. So let's go out to the Lamborghini after we get a coffee. I might put maybe some clips, some driving clips at the end. Alright everybody, alright. We are in the Lamborghini. I'm with Jordan Platten, is my friend. You might know him, you've seen him on the channel. He does social media marketing and general entrepreneurship. So today, if you don't know who I am, my name is Johnny, and I've been doing Amazon FBA. I kind of started in April last year, and I've gone on an incredible journey since then. And a lot of people watching this will want to know how can you start up on Amazon, right? How can you get to a 6-figure income from Amazon? Okay, and yes, you can't do it overnight. It's not going to be like you're going to start Amazon in 2 months' time. You're going to be making, you know, what was it I said earlier? 10 grand, 10,000, whatever the hell it was. Rewind and you'll be able to play it. So you're not going to get to that overnight, but you can do it. You definitely can do it. And use me as an example. I'm nothing special. I started last year when I was at my job. I was working my recruitment job. I hated it. I literally absolutely hated it. And I needed to find a business model that I could do in my spare time. And it's quite funny because I would go to the toilet to check my Amazon sales, because I wasn't allowed my phone out on like the sales floor, so I would go to the toilet and like see how many units I've sold, and it was really funny because some days I made like more on Amazon than I did in my job, which was ridiculous. But anyway, so I put together a list, okay, a list of 8 kind of personality traits, and if you've ever done like interview technique and stuff like that, you might know this as competencies. So when I was at Apple, I used to work at Apple for 5 years. I was the sales trainer, or like the general kind of trainer. I actually trained this guy here when he started at Apple.
Unlucky me.
Yeah. And so for my job, I had a list of basically character traits that said if you need to do this job, you need to be good at these 8 things or these 9 things. So if you weren't good at them, you could go away, you could work on them for a couple of months, come back and like re-interview or do whatever. So I decided that I thought it'd be an interesting thing to write down all the ones that relate to Amazon FBA and entrepreneurship, because the reason being is I've got loads of content on my channel about like what to do, like how it works, but they're all tasks. They're not, there's like you can do it exactly the same way as I can do it. We're using the same system of Amazon. We use the same product research kind of tools. There's nothing that is different, okay? The only thing that differentiates someone from being successful and unsuccessful is them. If we've all got the same tools and resources, and one person makes a success and the other one fails, it's not the resource's fault. It's the person's fault. So a lot of people fail at all business. 3 out of 4 businesses fail, and I'm sure that's probably the same with Amazon, right? 3 out of 4 probably will fail, because that's just a statistic that has been tried and tested for years and years and years. So I wrote down the list of 8 traits that I believe you need to have, and if there's any ones you want to add to this, then please let me know down in the comments. But I would really suggest getting pen and paper ready right now. So pause the video, get a pen and paper, or get a notes document out and write these down, because honestly I think this is like game changing. Okay, and yeah, I might write this out into like a short ebook and kind of give it out for free, and do some training on it. So basically there's 8 character traits that I believe you need to have. So the first one is going to be action orientated. I'm just going to read out a little kind of blurb that I put with it. So action orientated, willing or likely to take practical action to deal with a problem or solution. So when you have a problem or you need to come up with a solution, you don't think about it and procrastinate for ages and ages and ages. You take action, you do something. So if I think back to myself, I found out about Amazon FBA, I think it was around January 2016. So over a year before I actually started doing it, and I procrastinated for a long time. I kind of forgot about it for ages, and I came back to it. And imagine if I had started January 2016, I would be in a completely different situation to that I am. I'm doing well on Amazon, but I could be doing even better, right? I could be doing probably over $1 million in sales.
You'd have the Lambo.
I would own the Lambo. I've got to give the Lambo back in 2 days, unfortunately. I'm really sad about it. But yeah, we're in the Lamborghini. It's got no branding pack, unfortunately, but you've seen it. But I've got to give it back. But I would probably be owning a Lamborghini.
Feature the garage.
Feature the garage, yeah. So the first thing is action orientated. You need to take action. Don't just think about doing something for ages, because you're not going to gain anything from it. You're only going to lose. So you need to take action. If you're a business owner, this is not just for Amazon. If you're a business owner, you need to be action orientated, hands down. The next thing, and I've kind of put these in order as well, maybe not of importance, but in order of kind of what you need to do when you need to do it. Next one is results driven, and this is basically a person's ability to create momentum based on their ultimate goal of getting things done, of taking action. So arriving at a finish line basically takes a lot of effort, a lot of hard work, smart work, but it's what's involved with defining yourself as results driven. So my results that I wanted is I wanted to earn enough that I could quit my job. Right? I didn't want to work at my recruitment job. I literally hated it. I hated getting up in the morning, traveling 1.5 hours, 2 hours to work on the train, particularly in the summer and in the winter when it's freezing. That was my pain point that I was really trying to get away from, and my goal is I need to make enough so that I can at least go on holiday and not worry about money. But fortunately, it turned out a lot better than that. And with the results driven as well, it's like when you're trying to find products, you have to have the result first, and then you find products that meet your criteria. So being results driven is super, super important. And yeah, if you're not results driven, then you're probably not going to be successful. So the third thing is going to be composure. And you might also think of this as patience as well. So it's just the state of being calm and in control of yourself. So product research takes time, right? A lot of people reach out to me and they say, I've been searching for a week and I can't find anything, right? You need to work on your composure. You need to work on your patience. You probably need to work on a few other things that we've got in the list as well. You can't expect things overnight. This isn't a get rich quick. Like there are things that can make you money quicker, but they take more time, they take more input. This is something that's very passive, and you have to be okay with having patience. If it takes you 3 months to find a product, and I don't think it would, but if it does take you 3 months, but that product can earn you passive income for the next 5 years, it's worth waiting 3 months. So put it into perspective. You're trying to do something to change your life. Don't expect results within a week. Have patience and have composure. Right, the fourth thing, I think we're on the fourth thing, 1, 2, 3. Fourth thing, research skills, okay? So, the skills required to search for answers to questions, to construct reasoned arguments for theories based on evidence, and to increase your understanding in a particular field of study. Now that sounds a lot of kind of jargon, but it basically means when you don't know something, you don't go, oh, I don't know, I'm giving up. It's, if you don't know the answer to something, you get online, you find out the answer, you pick up the phone to someone that will know. Like, you get coaching. You don't just take no as an answer. You just think, well, I don't know it yet. So research is super important, particularly like with product research, okay? And just the ability to find the product, right? Just don't do it for a day, for a week and think, oh, it's not out there. You have to just continually look for the answer and you will find it eventually. But there's always going to be things that you don't know. Everyone's circumstances are different and you have to be able to find out the answers. You have to be kind of, not like thrifty, but what's the word I'm looking for? You have to be like resourceful. You've got to be really resourceful in any business and try and make your money go as far as possible. You've got to make your time go as far as possible, and you've got to be able to research. You've got to know how to find answers. That's really important. The fifth thing, right? The fifth thing is critical thinking. Now, a lot of you may not understand what this is because you're like, critical thinking, is that like thinking about like abstract ideas? And it's not. So it's the objective analysis and evaluation of an issue in order to form a judgment. What that means is when you're looking at all the data, particularly for product research, for sales, for reviews, for competition, that sort of stuff, you need to be able to analyze that data and think critically about, is this going to be a good idea? Like, try and look forward into the future and think to yourself, is there an opportunity for me to go into this market? So you're not just thinking, oh, the numbers are good, I'm going to sell the product. It's you're looking at everything in a holistic approach, every kind of data point that you can look at, and using your own intuition and coming to a conclusion, and by evaluating all the information you have in front of you. So I believe you need to be good at critical thinking, and I think that's what separates a lot of people from selling products that are maybe like fad products to the products that can actually make you money. They're evergreen products. They'll make you money for like years and years and years. Is having that critical thinking approach. They may not be quick to make sales, like really quick, like for example, like the squishy toys or the fidget spinners or the slime that just go crazy straight away, but then they're going to dip straight away as well. They're products that might take a little bit longer to ramp up because you've been thinking critically about it. You know that actually there's a benefit in doing that. So think critically. Are we on the sixth? I think we're on the sixth thing, and this is negotiation skills. So negotiation skills is the process of forging an agreement between two or more parties that is mutually beneficial or mutually acceptable. So this is with your literally with your negotiation with not just your suppliers, but with graphic designers, with anyone where you have to come to an agreement on things like price or the service that is being delivered from you or from someone else. So with suppliers, you can't just go in there and piss everyone off and lowball the prices like crazy, because no one's going to meet you in the middle. You need to negotiate and come to an agreement that both people are happy with. It may not be the best deal that you can get, but it's somewhere where you can start. And then you can continue negotiating. Every time I order a new product, I negotiate. Every time. With a supplier, I literally ordered 2,000 units last week. And I said, okay, I'm just ordered 2,000 units. The price, I think it was 20 cents cheaper, which is awesome. So per unit, so I saved a bit of money. I was like, also, I want to negotiate something else as a bundle. Right? Not something like massive, but just something I can put in the box. And they were like, yeah, okay, we're happy to speak about that. So they're open to negotiation. So you always have to have negotiation skills and understand that it's mutually beneficial between both parties. Equally with graphic designers and things like that, if they put you a really high price, just say, look, I was only looking to pay $30, but if you can meet me in the middle, then I think this will be good for everyone. And if they agree to it, fantastic. If they don't, find someone else. You're more than happy to. You can do that. It's not a problem. There's plenty of other people out there. So yeah, you need to have negotiation skills. So if you don't know how to do that, maybe spend a bit of time researching how to negotiate. The second to last thing is eye for detail. And I think, Jordan, you have this. Fortunately, I think I have this, but not with spelling. I'm not very good at spelling at all. So that's the only thing I have no detail for spelling. But good at noticing small but important things that other people might not notice. So this might be with small imperfections with your product. It might be with your listing, with your SEO, with the graphics, particularly with your pictures, like noticing small details like different shadows and different things that you can have in your images to really help convert your potential customers into customers. So it's that focus to detail that really makes a difference. And it's like with the iPhone, for example, you can tell that a lot of intention and thought has gone into making it because of the details that is involved. like with a Lamborghini, right? We were talking about this the other day. You've got all the, I'll probably get some shots of this right now, but you've got all like the console and all the bits and all the paddles. There's so much intention and detail gone into it that, you know, that's why it's at 100. You know, you can get one of these for £150,000, right? But actually, it's just a car. It's made of the same material as that car over there. But because of the intention, because of the way it's branded, because of the details, they're able to charge you so much more. So think about that with your own products, with your own listings. Is there small details that you can add, even with things like your logo? If it's a crap logo, don't use it. You need to make sure that you get a really good logo. Get your designer to make 3 and then pick 1 and then make 3 more. Same with your product photos, have different variations. Same with your product, if it's a different color or a different placement for the logo. Really look at the fine details, because those are the things where customers look at your product and they're going to think they care about what they're creating, rather than just sticking a label on something and trying to sell it. And that's never going to last. You need to create something that has a value for your customers. The last thing, and probably one of the most important things, okay, is dealing with ambiguity. And what this means is, this is a little bit of a longer one, but it's can effectively cope with change, can shift gears comfortably, can decide and act without having the total picture, comfortably handle risk and uncertainty. So with this definition, it appears that someone who deals with ambiguity could be in someone who basically accepts an ongoing state of ambiguity, of risk, of change. And I think that's the case in all entrepreneurship. Not particularly just with like Amazon, but all entrepreneurship. There's nothing guaranteed, right? Nothing is guaranteed. Like when I had someone email the other day and said, "Oh, you can't guarantee I can make money," or something like that. And I'm like, well, of course not. You can't even guarantee that you can make money. There's no guarantees. You have to be comfortable with a state of ambiguity where things change, things happen. Amazon might change some of their review limits, or they might change some of their listing criteria. You can't be like, you can't get butthurt about it. You can't get angry about it. You can't give up. You just have to deal with it and change. And that is entrepreneurship in a nutshell. You can't just be happy. Again, you can't be unhappy if there's no guarantees. You have to be happy that there's no guarantees and be able to deal with it and be able to deal with the change. So those are the 8 things. I'm just going to run over them very, very quickly. So the first one was action orientated, just taking action. That's literally the most important thing. That's why it's the first thing. You have to be results driven. You've got to know what your goal is. Everyone's goal is going to be different. You need to have composure and patience. You know, this isn't something that's going to happen really quickly. It might take a year, but if you could be doing 24,000 pounds a month in sales, let's say 20 grand a month in sales, in a year's time, making a 40% profit of 8 grand, 9 grand, if it's 20 grand,
yeah,
8, whatever that is, yeah. Not very good with the maths, guys. Not very good with that. That's why I need the calculator. Then, is it worth being patient? Is it worth waiting and taking action, small little steps every single day to make that happen? Of course it bloody is. You need to have good research skills. You need to know how to find the answers when you don't know them. You need to know how to find the people that know the answers when you don't know them. You need to be able to think critically. So you need to be able to evaluate and form judgments, intelligent judgments. You need to be able to have negotiation skills, negotiate with a whole different bunch of people, not just suppliers. You need to have a huge eye for detail, look at the small details that can really add value and make your customers feel happy. And the last thing is you need to be able to deal with ambiguity, so you're okay with change, you're okay with risk, and you actually relish and you really enjoy that as well. So those are the 8 things that I believe you need to go from 0 to pretty much anything in entrepreneurship. But if you want to go from 0 to 20k a month on Amazon, those I believe are the competencies, the character traits that you need. Now, if you want to learn more about the button clicking and how to do the research and all that kind of the tasks, so I think there's the tasks and there's character. So this hopefully can help you with the character, and if you want me to do more videos on this, then let me know down in the comments and I can go into each one of these in detail. But I believe, if you want to learn the button clicks and what to do, when to do it, the first link in the description is my Amazon course. Now that takes you through everything from start to finish, so you can actually do it. It's the same stuff I use, it's the same stuff other people, my students, use to get success. The only difference between them and people that haven't been successful, or maybe haven't taken it, if they haven't been successful, is they haven't taken action, or they haven't been results driven, or they haven't negotiated, or they haven't had composure. So those are the real key things that I believe if you don't have, you're not going to be able to make a success with it. Of course, you have all my YouTube videos. I've got playlists, Amazon FBA playlists. You've got my case study at the moment with Amazon that you can go ahead and look at and kind of carry, stay along to. And finally, I've got my free Amazon FBA groups, which are linked down below. You've got my email for support. You can try and get me on Instagram or Facebook, but email is going to always be the best way. So I hope you have enjoyed that video. You've got loads of resources available to you. The only excuse for not getting started is probably you're not action orientated, and if you're not action orientated, that's the first thing you need to work on. If you enjoyed the video, guys, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I might put maybe some clips, some driving clips at the end if you guys want to see that. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll try and get some. If I don't, then I apologize. But yeah, make sure you do smash the like button, leave any questions and comments down below, subscribe if you're not already, and turn on those notifications. I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye.